Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I brought both of the Melody Beatty books with me today. Are you so excited? I am. And both of the meditations look good. I just read the titles, but the titles both look good to me. So let's get into reading them. They're both rather short, so I hope they give me a lot to talk about, or this will be a short video today. All right, so from The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beatty, which is the sister book to Codependent No More. September 4th, Finding Direction. I used to spend so much time reacting and responding to everyone else that my life had no direction. Other people's lives, problems, and wants set the course for my life. Once I realized it was okay for me to think about and identify what I wanted, remarkable things began to take place in my life. Anonymous. We each have a life to live, one that has purpose and meaning. We can help our higher power give direction and purpose to our life by setting goals. We can set goals annually, monthly, or daily in times of crisis. Goals create direction and pace. Goals help us achieve a manageable life that is directed in the course we choose for ourselves. We can help give our lives direction by setting goals. Today I will pay attention to setting a course of action for my life, rather than letting others control my life and affairs. Interesting meditation. I think, there has been much of my life that I have spent kind of consumed with others or taking care of others or whatever, also I was thinking as I was reading this that my opinion about setting goals, making goals, things like that, has kind of changed over time. I used to be somebody that on my sobriety birthday, the new year, my birthday, I would make like a list of goals that I wanted to achieve in the following year. And I still do that. Right? And I actually just made a list of goals of things that I wanted to achieve going forward in September. And those things were like, I wanted to read more fiction books because I haven't been reading fiction books and I miss it, right? I wanted to get more active, and by that, that means I wanted to start walking several times a week for like a half an hour at a time. And I bought some weights on Amazon. I still haven't put them together yet, and I want to start maybe lifting weights a couple times a week. And filming videos on a, more structured schedule, and being more, like through the summer, I kind of just posted sporadically, and I want to start posting more regularly on my channels because I really miss doing that. And I love being able to post regularly and having the opportunity to do that, and that people really enjoy my videos, And there were so many things on this list that I made up for September, and not just September, but the fall going forward. And I also made a list of things going into the fall and winter because I was starting to kind of feel like my world was closing in on me a little bit. I was starting to feel like, okay, I've spent so much time, really, I would say, well, even in the winter last year, I was out on the front porch, but like really in March was when the weather started getting nicer around here, So late March, early April. So since late March, early April, I've spent like a lot of time every day on the front porch. I'm like, okay, we're getting into colder weather now, so that means I'm not going to be able to go into the front porch as much as I used to and sit there and talk to my neighbors and whatever. I mean, I can put on a coat. I did that in the winter last year. I can do that this winter as well. But I started feeling like the world kind of closing in on me a little bit. And so I started making like a list, not necessarily of goals, but yes, of goals, of things to change around here, like getting the fireplace fixed so that I can have a fire every day or, throughout the day if it's cold, and I can film in front of the fireplace and, buying candles. We already have a lot, but buying more candles that will make me feel like the place is cozy. I just bought honey spoons and honey sticks for my tea because I've been drinking a lot more tea, and I bought some clay mugs because I really love clay mugs and they make me feel very homey and kind of cozy. And so I've been looking at like different things on like Amazon and Pottery Barn for like fall and winter and different ways to like make the house cozier and comfier, so that I can enjoy the inside of the house as well as the outside. And I think for me, it's important to do those things, but at the same time, like I think with goals especially, I think in my youth, like I think we all relate to this, right? Like we on the new year, we say we're going to lose 20 pounds. And then on the 2nd of January, we're like eating a gallon of ice cream. And we're like, okay, I already messed it up. Forget it. Forget that goal, right? But I think that like I've learned over time to be more compassionate with myself and more caring and not beat myself up if I don't achieve my goals, or realizing that I don't have to achieve my goal the first attempt, that, you know, that it's going to be progress, not perfection. Which is, you know, recovery saying, but I apply that to life as well. That, you know, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And that, you know, I can keep on trying over and over and over again, and I don't have to beat myself up. So if I make these goals of things that I want to accomplish in September, you know, it's like I made these lists of things and I talked about it on my vlog, and then I was like, oh my God, it's already like the 2nd of September and I haven't done any of these things, right? And I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's really like, well, I had started reading a little bit, but I was like, it's okay. You'll get to it. You'll get to it, you know? Like, don't rush through this list. And I think that that's something that I did so much in my life, was like, okay, I was very focused on accomplishing these goals. And I think that that's good. You know, there are goals in my life that I look back on, like my sobriety, my master's degree, my writing a book, you know, things like that, that I'm very, very proud of, you know, my marriage, that I look at these things and I think, okay, I'm very proud of the success of these goals that I wanted to achieve in my life. But I don't think, for me, and I can only speak for me, that it is a successful or meaningful life if I'm constantly just checking off things of goals that I've achieved. I just don't want to live that way anymore, you know? And I did a lot in my youth. And I think a lot of it was that I was always playing catch up because, you know, everybody else was graduating from college when they were 21 or 22, and I was older than that because I got sober. You know, it was like I always felt like I was playing catch up. So I always felt like I had to work overtime. I don't know if anybody else out there relates to that. But, you know, when I had friends that had $500,000 homes and were driving nice cars and traveling, you know, I was living in an apartment, and that was not my situation. And so I always felt less than, even though I was working twice as hard, because I was like trying to catch up, you know, and achieve all of these goals and make my life mean something. I don't know for who. But I will say that one of the things that I've learned, you know, is that I don't have to achieve all of those goals like that. Like, they're going to happen when they happen. And I think that one of the things I have learned greatly is to allow myself to be present and really enjoy my life, you know. So that's a really great meditation. All right, let me read from the next one. And this is from Melody Beatty, Journey to the Heart. September 4th, stay connected to yourself. The woman was describing her reaction to an area she had visited, a place poisoned by toxic chemicals, a piece of earth maimed and harmed by humankind. It's not that I didn't feel connected there, she said thoughtfully. I feel connected, but feeling connected meant feeling connected to pain. The woman was describing more than a piece of land. She was describing a place many of us visit at many times on our journey. We feel connected, but we're connected to pain and sadness. We may be reacting to an incident from our past or to something taking place right now. We don't have to run anymore. We don't have to hide. We don't have to leave our bodies or wonder what's wrong. We simply need to feel what's there, even if it hurts for a bit. Sometimes we're healing from toxic beliefs, feelings, and attitudes we've accumulated. Sometimes there's a message, a lesson to learn, an action to take. That will follow naturally if we're connected. Open up to your connection. The price of being connected may mean that we occasionally feel pain, but the reward for staying connected will be consciousness, guided action, and an open heart. I love this meditation, and I was just talking to a friend of mine, a sober friend of mine earlier today, and she was saying that she had gone out of town for a day and she was really struggling, and she was talking to her husband about it, who's not in sobriety. And I think it's, for me personally, I think it's easier, and this will be a whole video on my new sober journey over here talking about things, but I think it's easier to be in a relationship with somebody that's not in sobriety than people that I just can't. God bless those people that are sober together. I'm sure that there are a lot of fantastic couples out there, and I know them and have met them, but I just think it would be difficult because you're taking each other's inventory and whatever, you know. But anyway, so she was saying that she was talking to her husband, and her husband was saying to her, like, because he was trying to be as, you know, kind and supportive as possible, she was just having a really bad, like, down day, and she's earlier in sobriety. I think she's like 2 or 3 years. And he said, you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And inside, or he said something to her like, you just need to like control the situation. She's like, well, that's exactly it. Like, I don't have any control over these thoughts or these feelings, and I don't feel like things are going to be okay, right? And so she just kind of looked at me, and I said, the thing is like, you have to just sit in it sometimes, like for me, two of the things that I have learned that have been so helpful in my life, not just in sobriety, but I did learn them in sobriety, was number one, to live out loud. And what that means is you tell on yourself. You tell about what you're going through. You talk about what you're going through. You share that with another human being. You talk to them about, this is what I'm going through and this is how hard it is with me, right? And you share that with somebody. And the other thing that I've learned is that sometimes it's important just to sit in your pain. Sometimes it's important just to sit in it and just realize, like, you know what? This too shall pass, but right now I've got to feel sad. I've got to feel angry. I need to allow myself to feel my feelings instead of pushing them down and saying, no, I don't have a right to feel this right. You have a right to your feelings, okay? But to also remember that feelings are not facts, so don't make any life decisions based on them. That feelings change over time, sometimes within hours, sometimes within days, weeks, months, years. But feelings do change, right? They're not facts. And the way that you feel about a situation or a person now is maybe not how you'll feel about the same person or situation a year from now or an hour from now, But I do think it's important to allow ourselves to feel our feelings and to sit in that kind of that pain for a little bit until we're able to move on and ask ourselves, okay, like, are you ready to move on? We can have conversations with ourselves instead of just pushing ourselves through and going, nope, I don't want to be angry today. Nope, I don't want to be sad today. I think we're so scared of those feelings sometimes because we don't know what to do with them, when sometimes the best thing to do with them is just to sit in it, and say, I just don't feel that great today. And that's okay. So anyway, really good meditations. I love Melody Beatty. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. That was so cheesy, wasn't it? But I don't care. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.